Paper lights still glowing. Across the night, drawing all our memories into gentle light. The sun sweeps soft in a quiet glow, reminding me of things I never meant to show. And though the silence pulls us far apart, there's still a rhythm echoing in my heart. Violet lines between us faintly clear, painting gentle traces of what brought us here. Even when the distance feels severe, hope keeps pushing whispers to my ear. Violet lines between us softly drawn, keeping every piece of us holding on. The guitar shivers like a trembling sigh, casting tiny sparks as the moments pass by. Drums beat low in a steady frame, filling every heartbeat, calling out your name. Even when the quiet tries to close the space, your warmth outlines a brighter place. Violet lines between us faintly clear, painting gentle traces of what brought us here. Even when the distance feels severe, hope keeps pushing whispers to my ear. Violet lines between us softly drawn, keeping every piece of us holding on. Some distances soften when the truth appears, and suddenly the world feels near. Violet lines between us still glowing. Neon drips slowly down the window glass, echoing the used to let pass. Faint hum lightly in a fragile line, tracing all the pieces I pretended were fine. But even in the stillness where shadows hide, there's a trembling warmth that won't leave my side. Silent neon reverie in the air, pulling every heartbeat from the quiet glare. Even when the dark feels too much to bear, hope keeps flickering like it's always there. Silent neon reverie in the glow, showing me the paths I used to fear to know. Guitar notes shimmer in a gentle sweep, falling like a memory I couldn't keep. The rhythm settles with the softened beat, turning broken echoes into something sweet. And even when the quiet feels too deep, your warmth returns in every sound I keep. Silent neon reverie in the air, pulling every heartbeat from the quiet glare. Even when the dark feels too much to bear, hope keeps flickering like it's always there. Silent neon reverie in the glow, showing me the paths I used to fear to know. Some lights fade slow, but never disappear. They wait in the silence until we draw near. Silent neon reverie, leading me home. A soft light, still shining. Faint reflection shimmer on cold glass, moments of a memory I wished would last. Synth swells drift in a trembling glow, holding every detail only hearts can know. And though the silence feels too wide, I still feel you standing at my side. Pixels on a silver window fall, tracing soft reminders of a weary familiar beats. Smeeds hum low like a distant plea, tracing shadows where your warmth used to be. But even in the drift where endings claim, I feel the flutter of a fragile wing. Glass wings in the quiet, holding on, shining through the dusk, though the light is gone. Even in the dark where the fears belong, something in their glow keeps me strong. Glass wings in the quiet, faint but true, guiding every step that leads me back to you. Guitars tremble bright in a silver sweep, pulling hidden memories up from deep. The drum machine pulses a steady line, lifting every bruise that I called mine. Even when the weight becomes too real, they stay. City lights blur in a violet haze, tracing quiet cracks through forgotten days. Soft pads rising like a hidden bloom, breathing tiny colors in the quiet gloom. And in the drift where broken nights collide, a gentle strings glimmer like a fragile tear, drawing every heartbeat closer here. The rhythm moves in a trembling glow, folding broken echoes into something slow. Even when the dark begins to press, your echo softens every heaviness. Moon pulse drifting quietly through the sky, lifting all the weight I never learned to tie. Even when the memories start to fly, hope remains a shadow I can't deny. Moon pulse drifting quietly through the rain. Softly stitching pieces back again. Some nights bloom gently in the ache, teaching hearts which pieces not to break.